A while back, I learned that it's never really smart to complain. You just never know who you're complaining to. It could have been somebody that would have helped you had you not been complaining. A couple of years ago, I was working at this Home Depot up in Colorado, and I had this one coworker who would just bitch about everything. Like, he just couldn't help himself. He just had to complain about something that was going on. Any little thing, he was always nitpicking, talking about the managers, talking about the coworkers to the managers, talking about the managers to the coworkers. It's like he didn't see any good with anything. And I used to just be like, bro, why we gotta talk about people? We can't, it is nothing else that comes to mind. And when you wanna speak about something, you gotta talk about somebody else. But then there's this one day where somebody needed, because I worked in the lumber and building materials department. So I used to be on the forklift, putting the wood and the concrete in people's trucks and all that. But so this one customer comes up, he needs help or whatever. And it was a big job, so we both ended up having to help him. Me and my complaining coworker. And the whole time that we're interacting with this dude, he was a cool guy. Nothing but laughs and smiles, and he just kept, throwing jokes at us. And I'm in the moment laughing, but my complaining coworker kept complaining. He thought that the guy wanted to hear him complaining about stuff. And the things he was complaining about was the job and how he was feeling like he wasn't getting paid enough to work there, and how he feels like he's really worth more than this and all of this extra stuff. He has forklift skills. He's not even getting paid $12 an hour. All sorts of things. And then the guy was just looking at him like, huh, you don't say. That's all he said to him. And then eventually the conversation started getting directed to me because he realized I was receptive to the jokes. I'm inputting things into the conversation. I'm not just complaining about life. But the other guy's complaints made this guy realize that I was dealing with the same situation. I'm just not complaining. So he was like, man, you're good at that forklift, you know that? I'm like, okay, cool, appreciate you. He was like, is your buddy right? Like, is he telling the truth? Y'all don't make $12 an hour here? And I'm like, I ain't want to just spray myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm making like $11.50. This was in was this like 2019? I'm making like $11.50. And the guy, he's like, yeah, that I don't really like that. And you're a cool guy. And by this point in the conversation, we were pretty much wrapping things up with putting all the concrete into this man's truck. So my coworker was able to go away. Like, he had some other things he had to go do. So the guy just started talking to me one-on-one. He's like, hey man, how is it here? Like, I didn't hear you complaining about anything. You actually like working here, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's a job. I'm not tripping, it's cool. I wasn't complaining about the job. I was just happy to have a job. I had just moved out of state. I didn't want to just be, broke when I moved to Colorado. That would have been crazy. I'm appreciative of this job. But the guy, he just didn't like this for me. He's like, you got a good demeanor. And you really know what you're doing on that forklift. I don't really want to see you working here. As I'm still putting the last little bit of concrete into his truck, he calls one of his friends. Hey man, you still got that job opening available? The guy on the phone says, yeah. He was like, I actually have a buddy here, a friend of mine working at Home Depot, great guy, you'd love him. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the position. He hands me his phone. I have a job interview as I'm sitting on the forklift. Real deal. I'm like, okay. He's just like just talk. Like, he's motioning me, just hang out. I'm like, okay, cool. The guy asked me what my schedule was like, and I let him know I'm working at Home Depot right now. I was working at something like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 2, some schedule like that. And then he was like, well, is there any way that you can come see me today? Can you come have an in-person interview? I'm like, yeah, as soon as I get off, I could shoot over there. I didn't know how much this job was about to be paying me, but I just knew, hey, why not? I talked on the phone for like 4 minutes total, handed the guy back his phone. I'm like, wow, thank you. He was like, nah, thank you. You got good energy. I appreciate it. People like you don't need to just be out here scraping, trying to get by. I was like, oh, I really appreciate that. Like, he saw something in me that I wasn't even really seeing in me at the moment. But it was just the good energy that I was exuding. I wasn't complaining about life. You see what I'm saying? It's a butterfly. But, so then fast forward 2 o'clock, I go straight over to the job to have this interview. Get there, fill out some paperwork, and yeah, have an interview with the hiring manager and his boss. Like, both of them interviewed me same time. And both of them liked me. I'm like, hey, I got on my work uniform. I ain't even put on nothing, you feel me? I didn't even put on any type of interview clothes. I just went there straight from work. I'm probably still smelling like Home Depot. Got concrete on my shoe. Didn't matter. After the interview, they walked me around the facility. They was just like, do you like everything here? Like, how you feeling? You feel like this might be a good fit for you? I'm like, yeah. What it was an upholstery company. I was gonna be the delivery driver for this upholstery company. I'm like, yeah, I can do this, that's cool. So I leave the interview probably like 3 o'clock, get home, wait maybe 2-3 hours, and then I get a phone call. Hey, we decided to go ahead and give you the position. You're gonna be starting at $18.50 an hour with the possibility of a raise after 6 months. So I'm trying to hide my excitement. I'm like, wait, hold on. I just jumped from $11.50 to $18.50 in the afternoon. It wasn't even in my mind that this could happen this day. I just was, I wasn't complaining about life. I was just doing my job with a smile on my face and got promoted immediately. So now I had 2 jobs. I'm working at Home Depot and this other place, but eventually I had to give Home Depot the 2 weeks notice. It was a little too much because I had a girlfriend at the time too, and I pretty much just was never home. So, but yeah, I switched from the $11.50 an hour job to $18.50 like that. Really was beautiful. And it just put the seed in my mind, like, you never know who's listening. Always just try to have some good energy about yourself. Head up, chin up, gangster. Like, you don't got a lot of things that's pulling you down in life to really show. Like, people don't need to be able to visibly see everything that you've been through just by looking at you. You see what I'm saying? But that's my little story time for today. I'm Brad, this is LGTM Healing, where we get your mind right so you can go and get your money right. Good energy wins. You dig?